Hey everybody, this is Gokai Spartan. If you're viewing this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get back on the algorithm. Algorithms is being funny right now. The YouTube videos, trying to get my videos more out there. So be sure to run my videos, share, like, comment, and subscribe. But I'm just posting this video. This is just a half overview video and just a half just a rambling video in a sense, because I haven't just done a rambling video where I just talk into a mic and just talk about the project and everything that's going on and, like, you know, with me and stuff like that. So I'm going to let y'all know this right now. It may take me a little longer to make my episodes, because before, when I was first doing this, I was very new to this AI software and just video editing in general. I was incredibly new to it, so it was easier for me to make it faster because I wasn't worried about mistakes. But now I've been doing it for so long that I know what it takes to actually make the episode pop the way I need it to. And for me to do that, some of these episodes, it may take me a little longer to make the videos. So I used to post like about every 3 days, and even with the discussion videos, I've done less of those lately because I've been mainly focused on making the episodes, because I've been using slightly different AI software, but mostly the same one, but just more higher grade than before. This makes the episodes pop a little bit more. And like I said, more or less, I guess like I'm gonna go over the storylines real quick of what's going on in the universe. So the Yu-Gi-Oh episode, the Golden Lord, he eradicated several universes. Eradicated them off the map, Duel Masters, just card game universes and just things that are adjacent to, like, you know, battle animation, stuff like that. He got rid of a lot of those. So the Yu-Gi-Oh characters, for context, the Digimon, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh universes are all safe for the most part, save for the Yu-Gi-Oh universes that got wiped out. But Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh GX, 5Ds, and Vrains, they're all still safe. But those universes got wiped out essentially, and they're targeting the digital world now. Now the thing is, the episode's a little bit wonky because the timeline difference, because this will take place a little bit before the episode where the goddesses fight, and I'll get into that in a sec. But more or less, Hikagen decided it's his day off today because he usually on call to do certain things, to either go to certain galaxies, clear out certain ranges, clear out certain planets, just kidnapping motherfuckers, just doing all types of nefarious evil things. Master Xehanort and Mavis, he's like their favorite fucking henchman to be sent to do shit, because whenever they send him, he usually gets the fucking job done. Most of the Galactic Crash Offs usually fucking get the job done. These villains are way different. Like, my universe is different than the Power Ranger universe, whereas in the Power Ranger universe, it's very formulaic, where they defeat the bad guys and that's just the end of it. No, in my universe, sometimes the bad guys win, and sometimes the good guys win. Recently, Cancer, one of the Galactic Crash Outs that was in the battle with Zato, he got eliminated. That's because right now we are literally on the 12th episode, and like, I essentially want this to be 40 episodes, and then I have something entirely different planned after we get to that threshold. But essentially, more or less, it's around time where some of the Galactic Crash Outs, some of the weaker ones need to get picked off. For Cancer, he didn't really clear out any of the other Power Ranger teams. Like, he wasn't like where Leo was fighting the Dino Charge Rangers, or Darkonda, or Rudran, or Scorpion, or Virgo, or Vexicus, or the Psycho Rangers, or Hikagen, or any of the other ones that were on the battlefield that caught multiple bodies. He was just oil with Zato. Context, he's powerful and all, but the truth is, more or less, like, he was a cool design for Zodiac, and whether he's gonna stay dead or not is debatable, because when I was making the episode, I really liked his design. Like, I really liked Cancer's design. I could do more with his character, because I really like the kind of character I gave him. I kind of gave him this kind of voice where he's just arrogant. Just one of those, because I like to give different personalities to these Galactic Crash Outs, where Hikagen, he talks more like a Grim Reaper, more like, if you heard Hikagen's voice in the Dark Alley, you shit yourself. Scorpion, he sounds very similar to Hikagen. I realized that when I was rewatching the episodes, because Hikagen talks like this, but Scorpion talks like this. It's more or less, he's more like, has more like a slower speech to it. But both of them are essentially menacing in a sense, but Hikagen is menacing where he's a little bit funny relief, because Hikagen will just be making jokes half the time sometimes when he be killing people. He's a funny guy. Scorpion's all about fucking business, bro. Like, he has an attack called Ouroboros Destructo Cannon. I just love coming up with names for attacks just in general. Ouroboros Destructo Cannon, Retrograde Burst, Maternal Outrage, Cruel Crustacean Slash, Pride Roar, Lannister Assault. Like, I fucking love coming up with names for attacks. Like, nah, son. Freaking Assault Maiden Maelstrom. Nah, bro. Tundra Bombardment Jutsu. That was an attack that Madara used in the first episode of the Flawless Military, the very first, when Rogexio defeated Madara and told him about Black Zetsu and told him about the Infinite Tsukiyomi plan was just a plan for Kaguya. So eventually, that's why Madara originally sided with Rogeksu, because she got his ass whooped, and then she told him that, yo, you're playing, like, this other bitch was trying to fuck you over. So essentially, he worked for the Flawless military at that point. For Xemnas, like I said, Rogeksu became a nobody because someone stole her heart. I'm not going to reveal who that someone is, but if you play Kingdom Hearts and you know who these freaking elusive characters are, I'm pretty sure you can guess just by the voice. But long story short, this mysterious entity took her heart, and for 10 universes straight, she was just eradicating, blowing shit up, just doing evil shit. And there was heroes that tried to stop her. They all failed. Everything just was just hopeless until the Gokhan Spartan came around Universe 65. And during the 66 and the 67th reset, her body was reforming itself because the Heartless was destroyed, and her nobody-fication takes a little bit stronger because she's a goddess. She has multiple timelines and multiple like families and stuff like that. They all do in a sense, but Rogeksu really cherishes the timelines wherever she's placed with her two sisters. So right now they're in the timeline where they are sisters, and they come from that planet Nirvana, which is basically like DR. Think of the Dominican Republic and Krypton is one entity. For context, when I originally created Rogeksu, Mavis, and Rihanna, I initially thought of 3 different nationalities for these women, although they would essentially be sisters. Whereas Rogeksu is more so Dominican, Rihanna is Puerto Rican, and Mavis is black. But basically, that's what happened with that. So that's what's going on there. So now, ultimately, Mavis needs to be dealt with. To be honest, Golden Lord Ikage and Madoka really need to be dealt with, but the truth is I got so many characters, and I kind of don't want the Flawless military to deal with every single threat, because we have the Star Force Rangers, we have the Dual Rangers, we have the Pirate Raid Rangers, we have the Ultimate Rangers led by Gavon. Shout out to my boy Chase if you're watching this, wink wink. But yeah, I might be using your Ultimate Rangers sooner or later. They might be getting a shout out. Please comment in the comment section what you want me to do with them and stuff like that, with characters and stuff, because I have my plans, and I'm pretty sure you have your own mythos for your characters, and I want to take that into consideration before I just have them on the battlefield. And I want to get just the gist of what these characters are or who they are. So Chase, if you're watching this, just comment that in the comment section. But yeah, there's a lot of people on the battlefield that can deal with this. And not only that, but ultimately, Ikage and Madoka, the Crash House going to have to do it, but I kind of want it to be a gauntlet. I don't want to get rid of Ikage and Madoka that fast. Even though they've been here for the longest, but they're the Jesse and James of my channel. It's just they're Jesse and James if Jesse and James actually captured Pikachu and moved on to doing other shit, other evil, more nefarious shit. Like, in a way, in a sense. But more or less, yeah, but the Digimon episode is something going to be entirely different. I was originally going to make the Digimon into Power Rangers, and I might do that because I made a poll and a lot of people do like the idea of Digimon being Power Rangers. But I kind of like Digimon just the way that they are. Like, they don't need to make everything into Power Rangers. I kind of want to do something separate for Digimon, whereas they have their tamers and they have their avatars where they can become Digimon, or they can send a Digimon partner. Well, that's for the Flawless military. If that's for the Digidestined, I want to expand upon their story and do stuff with them. Kind of like what I'm doing with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Digimon stuff is going to be alongside the Flawless military stuff, but it's also its own thing as well, due to the fact that just more or less I want to flesh out that world, because with Flawless military and Power Rangers Altered, essentially, it's a lot of characters intermingling with each other. It's Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's Kingdom Hearts, it's Power Rangers, it's Naruto, it's Dragon Ball, it's Digimon. It's a lot. But like, I like to focus on certain things like Dual Ranger and Digimon Redux, and Power Ranger Shattered Grid Redux, and just things like that, just so I could have more of a centered universe around those characters, and then I could sprinkle in the Flawless military in there, more or less, so like they won't overwhelm the entire story for that. But Power Rangers Altered more or less is their tale. Basically, I'm gonna let y'all know who the main characters of Power Rangers Altered is right now for the good guys and the bad guys. On the good guy side, the main characters are Rogeksil, the All-Mother Goddess, Beatrice Gravestone, basically the smart scientist in Flawless military, along with her brother Dexter Gravestone. Those two. The entirety of Organization 13. I don't got time to mention them. Just Organization 13. Basically, but I will mention them. Fuck it. The ones that matter, Xemnas, for he was displaced, and like, you know, he has his own role in the organization and whatnot. Xion, because Xion has equal power to Xemnas, and she actually utilized it. Roxas also has his equal power, but more or less Roxas lets Xion take the lead for the most part. Xigbar is very important, although I didn't use Xigbar's character for the longest due to the fact that the first episode was like a novella episode, and I kind of got lost where I wanted to go with them, but I'm back on track where I want to go with Xigbar. So, Xigbar is very important as well. But yeah, those are the most important members of the organizations. The ones that, you can also count Axel and Saïx as well, because Axel's always going to be the one to basically like shout out whenever the organization or the Flawless Military are doing something stupid, and they're probably just going to ignore him and be arrogant or whatever the case may be, or maybe they might listen to him or whatever the case. And Saïx is just, you know, he's there, he beats people the fuck up, he's an arrogant, mean individual. But we have a lot of that. We have Madara around. Having Madara there kind of, I just realized putting Madara there kind of has him above the rest of the organization. It makes Zenith feel a little bit less powerful, but that's Madara, that's Big Dick Madara right there. That's my nigga right there. So Madara, more or less, he's there as well. He is also a main character. But in the Flawless Military, those are the main characters within the Flawless Military, as well as the Game of Thrones ones as well. And for the Game of Thrones ones that matter, you can say Varys, Littlefinger, Sansa, and the Stark family, and the Lannister family. The other families kind of do matter because I do more stuff with the Starks and the Lannisters because I have more of a foundation of what to do with them. Like, the other families are there too, but I mostly condense the Game of Thrones stuff to their own various Westeros episodes. That's why Westeros gets attacked every now and then, so I can flesh out the Game of Thrones characters, and I'm going to flesh them out as the story goes along as well. But that's for Power Rangers, the Flawless Military. Now for Star Force, the entire team would essentially be the main characters, but if I had to condense it down to who's being developed right now, I'm going to develop them all, essentially, because they all have their own reasons for being there and stuff like that. Because Lucky Vaughn, he basically wants to become powerful and strong, just like his mother, just in case the day ever comes where Rogexiel ever fucking somehow gets obliterated or some shit like that. We can have another god there to take her place, the way they don't have to rely on either Mavis, Rihanna, Dexter, or Madara for that. And that's why Madara is training Vaughn, so in case that ever happens, that he could be the one to do it. Rickon. Rickon is there because Game of Thrones didn't give this little poor boy anything, bro. He was a tag along to every single story that he was in. Every single story that Rickon Stark was in, he was just a tag-along character, just a small, inconvenient one. And then they killed him off without him even saying a word. He didn't have no lines of dialogue that episode with Ramsay, freaking Firebird Star him, Usopped his shit. They ain't had no lines that episode. None whatsoever. And that shit kind of sucked. I'm like, damn, they do shit with him. I felt the same way about Tintin too. Because, bro, how y'all give Tintin the ancient weapon? Bro, on some real shit, Tintin should have at least used the ancient weapons to I don't know, throw Madara off guard or something like that in the freaking Great Shinobi War. They gave Tintin nothing. A swing got more screen time than this woman. So I had to put Tintin there too. Nominate. Well, all the Kingdom Hearts characters are being utilized in some sort of way. So Nominate being a part of the Star Force team adds some Kingdom Hearts magic to that team. Luisa Montegali. She's a strong one. She's not nervous. That's when you get drip, drip, drip. Yeah. The Encanto characters. Thanos from Squid Game. She's also there. It's crazy because he was like there for like one season and now I'm kind of stuck with him. But I can flesh him out. Just like I'm kind of stuck with Naragi too. Fuck the Alice in Borderlands. I'm stuck with these freaking survival game ass niggas on the team. And I feel like I can flesh Naragi out a little bit more than Thanos because his character's a little bit more like with Thanos. I could do that, but I feel like when I start covering the Slice of Life episodes, when Star Force is more condensed to its own thing, when they're not dealing with the large war of the galactic crash outs, or when they are kind of dealing with it, but when I more or less tackle Star Force, I can start putting in Thanos and just his relationship with the team and what happened to Ming-Su and Sumi and all, because all the people in Squid Games and Alice in Borderlands, they all lived because of Rogexiel. She was massively bringing people back to life. Those were some amongst the people that lived. So Thanos was still alive because of Rogexiel. Naragi, he lived past Alice in Borderlands. I still got to see season 3 of Alice in Borderlands. And the reason I didn't want to see that was because my nigga Naragi was not going to be there. They was over here talking about Chishia not going to be there, Kawinma not going to be there, Naragi not going to be in it, Aguni not going to be in it. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching this show for? Those were the 4 best characters there. I don't want to sit here and watch Arisu. Y'all going to take out Chishia? Y'all going to take out Naragi? Y'all going to take out Aguni and Kawinma? So I was mad at that. So I didn't want to watch it. But I gotta get back to watching. But it's hard for me to watch things now, guys, because I create. When you create, you're too busy either creating or working at your job or dealing with real life stuff. So it's really hard for me to watch anything that I haven't already consumed. Like something new, it's gonna be very hard for me to get into. Kamen Rider, I still need to get back to watching Build and Drive because I was still in the middle of watching that, and I need to get back to that. But yeah, just more or less like. Alright, I guess I can get back to the episode. I think I mostly covered the fight between Rogexiel and Mavis. This fight, I decided because, well, I made the fight before I made everything else. So, Mavis originally was the most powerful being in the universe in the 68th reset. But now that it's the 69th reset and Rogexiel is the strongest, Mavis is still powerful. And stuff like that. And she's trying to undermine Rogexiel. But Rogexiel is being nice. She's being passive because that's still her sister right there. She'd rather deal with the rest of the galactic crash outs or have the Flawless Military or whoever the fuck works for her, deal with them niggas, then confront Mavis immediately. Now, this is going to have problems with Organization 13 and the rest of the Flawless military, because these niggas are not going to have this shit, bro. And especially Organization 13 and Madara, they're not going to have it, because Organization 13, especially niggas like Xemnas, he didn't play that shit, bro. You seen what Xemnas did to Axel in Kingdom Hearts 3? He pelted this nigga with laser beams, bro. Bro, Axel tried to summon his Keyblade against him, he broke that. Xemnas was mad. Because Xemnas was tired of Roxas, he was tired of Axel, he was tired of Shion. He was tired of all three of these niggas. But the canon is different, and Xemnas is a good person, but still remembers the canon from before. So, now that things are different, and Xemnas has to take orders, because he always had to take orders from someone. Nigga was taking orders from Master Xehanort. Now he's just taking orders from Rogexiel. It's no fucking different. The only difference is Rogexiel's trying to save the universe. Master Xehanort's trying to create a Keyblade war and trying to destroy everything and make darkness the most supremacy and trying to balance out light and darkness, whatever convoluted plane he has. And he's still trying to do that shit. Because even in this new canon, where Organization 13 aren't villains, where the Game of Thrones characters are Power Rangers, and where the Power Rangers are being wiped out by the galactic fucking crash outs, Master Xehanort still wants that fucking Kingdom Hearts and that Keyblade. He still wants that. That's still on his to-do list. Just because his henchmen are different now, well, with the exception of Ansem and Vanitas, because they decided to still side with the sides of darkness. But just because his henchmen are different does not mean Master Xehanort's goals have changed. Xemnas, the thing about Xemnas is he remembers his ass getting beat by Sora, he remembers his ass getting beat by Rogexiel. He remembers both ass beatings, and at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, he was mad that he did that to the organization. And during this time, he got his ass beat for doing that to the organization. So Xemnas is like, you know what? I'm gonna chill the fuck out. I'm gonna let her cook, son, because maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I was fucked up. So Xemnas is trying to be a better person. If you watch episode 1, Xemnas has picked up a new hobby of protecting animals. He has a zoo and stuff like that. Before I made my videos on YouTube, I initially had him paired off with Rihanna. They were supposed to be a thing. They may still be a thing. I am not entirely sure where I want to go with that. But essentially, Rihanna and Xemnas were supposed to be item. They were supposed to be together because Rihanna is the Gaia of nature. She protects animals. And Xemnas was a nobody, oblivion who felt nothing. But because he needs something new to fucking do, because he can't control the organization the same way he did before, he was in charge of like the zoo and shit like that, because they needed the zoo, because Luke Sword wanted to open a big ass fucking city and open that empty ass fucking city to get everybody to move in there. And they needed attractions like, you know, bars and zoos and theme parks and just shit. They needed shit to do. So certain people got certain shit to do, like Larkseed and Marluxia. They have the fashion district. Luke Sword has the duelist district and the gambler district. That's why Luke Sword was pissed when the duelist got eliminated. Luke Sword was pissed because he usually go to these universes and play games with people and stuff like that, challenge them to stuff like that. Luke Sword's kind of like someone in the police universe. He polices some of these universes where he was even turning some of the rare hunters into cars because of their transgressions during the Yu-Gi-Oh universes. And like, you know, he was just making sure certain threats were dealt with in those universes. And to hear that a good chunk of them got wiped out, Luxord wants Golden Lord's fucking head. Shion wants Mavis's fucking head because, you know, money was being fucked with them. Like, she don't like that shit. So Rogexiel doesn't want to fight Mavis, but the organization are all angry, and they're all angry to the point where they don't give a fuck about her power right now. They just want to fight and deal with Mavis. And Madara is the main one fucking speaking, and Madara is the bravest fucking nigga on the fucking galaxy. So of course this nigga's gonna be like, yo, deal with your fucking sister before I do. So and Baelish, he's trying to be the mediator because that's what Baelish would do. He would try to calm everybody down, or maybe he would side with the villains, but this is a different version of Littlefinger. So while he was there, he was trying to say maybe we could have an agreement, but in private, he would be like, nah, kill that bitch. He would say exactly what the rest of them were saying because that's what needs to be done, bro. Trillions of people just got wiped out because Golden Lord got mad because Yu-Gi-Oh characters got Power Ranger powers. So yeah, and they were financed by Ikagen and Madoka because Golden Lord wouldn't be able to get to the universe and do all of that if it wasn't for Ikagen's malevolent power being able to summon him. Because the dual monsters are as powerful as who summons them. And Ikagen is literally the main bad guy of the verse. Even though people like Mavis and Xehanort, it could be debatable, but but I'm telling you guys right, it's Ikagen. You see him in the background, you see him in the thumbnails, that's who the main bad guy is. It's fucking Ikagen. So yeah, he summoned Golden Lord, and him summoning Golden Lord would give Golden Lord almost half the kit that Ikagen would have, meaning I'm able to grow big, blow shit the fuck up, And just, yeah, and it was just catastrophic because the duelists didn't expect two people to just show up and summon Yu-Gi-Oh cards to blow shit up, because Yu-Gi-Oh cards are usually condensed to a friendly card game, and if things do get blown up, it's because of some type of rule mechanic in the Shadow games. Nobody uses Yu-Gi-Oh cards as actual summoning demons, but that's what the Kagen and the Galactic Crash Outs do. They use the magic in certain ways to fuck up people, just like how Kimberly got composed out of the Zord when she fought Cancer, or when Ansem used Change of Heart to get control of Tommy. And now Tommy has 6 versions of himself. And these 6 versions, because I forgot, I think I was on Facebook one day, I was talking to somebody, and they said it would be nice if there was a whole team of Tommies. And I said, that would be nice. But the thing about me is, I'm a Villains fan. Y'all know this, guys. I like fucking evil. At least in the form of fiction. In real life, stay the fuck away from me. But I decided, if I'm going to have Tommy, you know what, Draken be a thing? Who's to say Draken won't get that Draken form? He can still get it, but what if he doesn't have access to that specific form just yet? Yes, he does have the white and green Ranger powers, but what if I wanted to do something different? What if I wanted to make a team of Drakens and make them all of the colors of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, color swap every single one of them, just for the sake of having a team of the Tommies, because a team of Tommies are hard. And so now there's 6 different Tommies walking around. There's Mighty Morphin Green Ranger Tommy, who's been turned into a Red Ranger. There is Mighty Morphin White Ranger Tommy Season 2, who has been turned into the Black Ranger. There's movie Mighty Morphin Tommy, who's turned into the Yellow Ranger. There's Zeo Tommy, turned into Green, Turbo Pink, and Final Thunder is Blue. So yeah, now Draken has 5 different hive mind versions of himself, and they're all different variants of Tommy. And I might keep that going for a while. I don't know exactly. Like I said, I write these things as I go along. I do that because, that's how I create. That's how I do my passion. And I was able to create everything I've created thus far doing that, and I'm going to continue to move that way. Certain things will be jotted down for the sake of remembrance, though, because I do jot certain things down. But for the most part, that's what's going to happen with Tommy and Draken. Now, it's about to be a war, guys. The Galactic Crash House Falls Military and the Power Rangers are all about to have a big climactic battle. And those who wanted to be Power Rangers, I need y'all to know which Rangers y'all wanted to be. Please comment in the comment section. Share this video as much as possible. So you watch my videos and please like, comment, and subscribe. And I see y'all on the videos. It's just I need the likes. Because we need to get back on the algorithm. We can push the content out so more people can see Power Rangers Ultimate Universe. So I'm going to leave it here because this video is becoming too long. Like when I start rambling, it usually does. But this is just going to be essentially another rambling video. So if you like anything I had to say and you like what I do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a marvelous day. And let the power protect you and stay the fuck out of trouble.